What's up, buttercups? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you've had a fantastic new year so far. It's like 3 weeks in, but I've had some serious art block. And I think I've been having art block for like 6 months now. It started really be bad in August. And I really don't know what to draw. So I kind of took it as what I liked. I know a start of this series for last year when I was first posting, I started an astrological sign series. I'm going to continue that, but some of the starting drawings I really hate now. I wanted them to all be the same size and in the same sketchbook instead of sprawl out around. I have a few that are in a smaller sketchbook than this one that I'm currently working in. This one currently has a lot of the astrological signs that I did later in the year. I don't really like the texture of the paper too much, but I do always like somehow drawing on it. It's got a really rough, not absorbent texture, especially for these fine liner pens, which is really great for when I have new pens that are not used and not kind of sort of dried out. And you know how when you get a really soft paper and a brand new felt tip pen and you can't really get a light shade or a light line going on? That's why I like this paper. I love hate it at the same time because it eats up the felt tip on my pens. As you can kind of see, there was a piece right there when I was drawing the chain. But I've decided to continue this series, restart it. I liked some of the drawings I did last year in the sketchbook, and I want it to be like a whole complete series where it looks the same. Some of the drawings that I did last year and where I was still coming into my drawing style and how I work with pen and ink and how I work with this paper, I wanted to achieve a cohesiveness to it. That's the word I'm looking for, cohesive. And I do eventually want to make some prints and all that jazz. So yes, moving along, 2021, I hope that you all have had a great new year. 2021 boils down to a 5. It is the year of Aquarius. We're in the sign of Aquarius. And we just moved out of the Piscean age, the age of Pisces, and the ages in astrology change about 2,000 to 2,150 years. I am not an astrologer, disclaimer. I just find this really interesting. And I like to draw weird things, and so it matches perfectly with my art style. Speaking of my art style, I really came into myself during quarantine. I know that sounds weird, but I've only been honing my craft, so to speak, for about probably 4 years. I started in 2017 really focusing on pen and ink as a sole focus in drawing. I think I made a lot of leaps and bounds last year, especially making videos helped a lot. And I experimented with drawing techniques and styles and how I liked things and shading, everything. I experimented with everything, and I think this year I really have a solid foundation and an idea. Good Lord, can I say that? An idea on how I want my art to look and how my style is and how I draw. And I think that's where a lot of my art block came from, was because I spent more time on social media. I was comparing myself to other people and other artists, and it was just like a whole spiral downhill of anything and everything you can think of on how a person can not view their art and feel about it. And at the end of the day, I can only be me, and I can really draw as I do, you know, and I was comparing myself on my drawing style because it wasn't realistic. Now I really had to stop and think about it in my head. Am I a realistic artist? Yes and no. And I have my own art style, and I have to accept that. And I also have to accept that people actually like my art for how it looks and not how I think it's supposed to look, and or how I think it's supposed to be in essence. So yeah, just like all in all, being more comfortable with myself and not thinking about it too hard. And that's also where the doodles come from. So if you don't know, if you don't follow me on Instagram and TikTok, those links will be in the description below. Something I do on there is called a daily doodle. It loosens me up for the day because this isn't my full-time job yet. I do want it to be, but I try to do a doodle every day. And it's usually not what my normal art style is. It's like a really loose, cutesy, like totally, I want to say totally not me, but it's me. It's like the two sides of my drawing, because I can be really cute and cutesy, and like I have sticker designs. I love stickers, and I love like kawaii things, and I just love Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, like you see on all of their like packaging, just anything like that, anything cute like that, all of their packaging and stuff, and like little mini erasers, just stuff like that. It's like anyways, I'm sorry for my, word vomiting all over you. It's okay, you're here for that, you like me for it. So I'm going to use this in my astrology series as both the beginning of the year. Last year in 2020, I did the year of the rat. So I'm going to have to find out what, I think it's the year of the bull for Chinese New Year. So I'm going to have to do that, but I am going to use this one as this is my Aquarius video. Aquarius is the water bearer. It is an air sign. And I really hated the one I did last year. Hate's a strong word, but every time I look at it, I want to erase it. And it's not in a bad way. Like I still like it in a way where like I like the process of it. I mean, the video's fine, drawing it was fun, but I knew that I could step it up. That's what I'm looking for. I could step it up. And so I did. I stepped it up. I added a little bit of gold paint. I think this turned out very well. It was super fun to draw. I was so surprised on how quickly it took me to finish. Another thing I learned last year is the importance of leaving white values and things untouched with ink. I was a painter before this, and I've worked with a lot of other mediums. Like I love colored pencil and acrylic paints, but you really don't leave a lot of white canvas space when you paint or when you do charcoal or any other kind of art style. I mean, you can, but you really can't. It's usually like white pen, white paint, some highlight. So in my opinion, a lot of my art that I have trouble with is when I feel it looks too crowded, too much of too much. I put too much pen on the paper. So taking it slow actually made it go faster for me, because I just put on some music and went to town. I just kind of drew. I had references when I drew this picture in the pencil, but when I went in with the pen for the shading, I kind of just had it in my head where the lighting was. I didn't look at the references like I usually do when I do shade. I guess that's also because like the only reference I really used was like a robe reference to get those folds in there, and the hands and the arms. But yeah, all right. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.